Seems we are live. Hey guys, it's Dennis here with a very special guest, a super spontaneous interview. I just emailed Roger Ver, one of the big figures in crypto, and he said, hey, let's do an interview now. And I said, all right, great. Here you are.
And here we are.
Yeah. Here we are. Roger, how are you doing?
Other than being, indoors for weeks on end here, I'm doing just fine. How about yourself there, Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, pretty good. I mean, we're all in lockdown, more or less. I mean, Germany is not that strict. You can still go out, exercise. You just can't go out in groups and stuff. But for me, it's kind of normal because I'm home anytime, anyway. So it didn't really change that much. But it's kind of weird, going to a supermarket and trying to social distance. And I don't know, it's weird times we live in.
Yeah, and getting weirder by the day. So let's talk about cryptocurrency, since I'm sure that's what everybody on your channel is the most interested in. So,
Yes.
So I don't know that much about you. I'd be curious to hear a little bit, like, how did you wind up going down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole, and what brought you to the whole ecosystem, if I can ask you that? I know.
Sure. I mean, I got involved in crypto in 2016, and I got approached by someone promoting basically a multi-level marketing in crypto, right? I'm pretty sure you know it. It's BitClub,
BitClub,
back in the day. It was big in Germany.
OneCoin.
yeah, true. I mean, it was quite big in Germany, and I got approached by BitClub and a few other people in different basically network marketing companies using crypto, because it was just getting, talk of the town, in 2016. And I wasn't really interested in the business side of the network aspect, but I was interested in Bitcoin. And the person who introduced me to this thing, and he didn't really sell me on Bitcoin, what it is and why we need it, and where the power within Bitcoin lies. And I basically, once I read about it, I couldn't start reading it. I wanted to know more. I want to see how this works. And everybody knows basically who gets into cryptocurrency. Once you get into crypto, you have to learn about money, learn about economics and all the whole thing. And it opens up a new world. And once this world has you, I mean, you're in the matrix, right? That's how I call it. I always say to people, once you have the crypto virus, you can't get it, you can't get rid of it, right?
The infection is permanent.
The infection is permanent.
There's no recovery.
There's no recovery. And basically, I was fascinated by it. I bought $20 of Bitcoin from a friend in cash. He sent it to me, and then I introduced other people to Bitcoin. I said, hey, give me $20 and I'm going to send you Bitcoin. And I sent the Bitcoin. It was quick. It was super cheap. In 2016, it was like summer or something, and that's what I liked about it, And that was eye-opening, When you live in a time where you can talk to anyone, anywhere in the world for free, but you try to send money abroad. I don't know. That's two different worlds, and it shouldn't be that way. And crypto was really missing, so I'm glad we have it now. And that was basically my first encounter. And then since then, I started doing a crypto show in January 2017, basically 5 times a week, just news, what's happening in the crypto scene. And I've done over 800 videos. I don't know how many.
Wow.
By now. So it's been fun. It's been quite a journey. The first year was the best, 2017, as you might know.
Everyone remembers that year.
Yeah. And since then, it has been downhill. But there are a few things which basically make cryptocurrency now more important than ever. Crypto was born in the last financial crisis, right? So now people are asking the biggest question: is crypto really a safe haven these days? Because every crypto took a hit, and Bitcoin is leading. When Bitcoin bleeds, every other crypto is bleeding. And for some people, the times have changed. I've seen many people make huge amounts of money in 2017 and 2018. People lost money, some got out. 2019, more people got flushed out. And it seems like the little core is remaining, but the morale is really low. How do you see it?
I think for the people that are interested in actually building the useful tools for people to use around the world, the morale is still super high. And we have amazing tools that make it so any physical shop can start accepting Bitcoin Cash payments in like 30 seconds using the Bitcoin Cash Register app. We built local.bitcoin.com, so anybody can buy or sell Bitcoin Cash with anyone anywhere in the world with no KYC in any amount for any payment method. Like, that's a really big deal. We had launched mint.bitcoin.com, where you can make your own token in like 20 seconds. And then you can send and receive your token anywhere in the world instantly, basically for free. And then I was, taking a break recently, and I was playing, what is it, blockchain.poker is this really cool poker website where you can play poker with people all around the world. And you'll see there's so many people there. It's really, really neat. They're using, who knows, they're literally people all over the world. And 24 hours a day, they're playing poker for real money on there at blockchain.poker. So it's really neat to see these things. Then, in my house, almost everything I have here, I bought with, cryptocurrency on purse.io. I was using Bitcoin Cash over there. So like for people that are actually interested in cryptocurrency being usable as a currency, the price is just a side effect of how much utility there is out there. And so I see all this stuff that's being built all the way around the world. And so I just actually, right before you and I got in a call, I was just talking with the guys that are part of BRD, which is one of the early wallets. And they just launched a sub company called blockset.com that makes it super, super easy for banks or, big giant traditional financial institutions to be able to plug into the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, and I think BTC and XRP as well over there at blockset.com. So they're building all the infrastructure that just make it so cryptocurrencies can just plug into like every aspect of our lives. So like, yeah, the price is lower than it was at the end of 2017, but the infrastructure is being built. And I guess it's a little bit sad for BTC specifically because it's not the king cryptocurrency that it used to be. It doesn't have the same amount of market share. But from another perspective, now like cryptocurrencies are being decentralized. Now we have a decentralization taking place within cryptocurrencies, and you hear everybody talk about Bitcoin maximalism. Well, maximalism is the exact opposite of decentralization. Maximalism is centralization. So if you want to have a decentralized ecosystem, you shouldn't be a maximalist, and we're seeing that all happen throughout all of the different cryptocurrencies at this point. So I think it's a really exciting time to be involved, period.
I mean, I find it really strange and, to be honest, quite sad that people try to bash other currencies, other crypto projects who really want to do something. When I read, I mean, you are a public figure for Bitcoin Cash, and as far as I can tell, you do as much as you can to bring this thing forward, to get this adopted, to get it spread, and people still call you a fraud, a scam, and
I want every cryptocurrency to spread too. So I want not just Bitcoin Cash, all of them. The reason I talk about Bitcoin Cash the most is I think it's the one that's the most likely to have the biggest effect on bringing more economic freedom to the world and empowering individuals to not get, washed out by the banks and, defrauded by central banks printing more money and all this crazy stuff. So, but if tomorrow, if I thought it was Ethereum the most, I'd be shouting about Ethereum every day. If I thought it was Ripple, I'd be shouting about that every day. If I thought it was BTC, I might be shouting about that. I might just retire and call it quits. So, but I'm in this to build the tools to bring the economic freedom to the entire world, not to favor one coin over another. I'm going to favor whatever coin I think has the best chance of bring more economic freedom to the world.
I think that's a great attitude to do that, because it doesn't help cryptocurrency adoption if you bash another cryptocurrency, if you put anyone else down. I mean, in 2016, it felt like it's cryptocurrencies against the rest. After when it went downhill, it seemed like it's crypto, my crypto is better than yours, and it's not us versus them anymore. It's like, whatever. I know it seems the community really took a hit, and it delayed the whole movement by quite a bit,
I totally agree. The social attitude of like Bitcoin maximalists against every other coin has delayed things. And then the scaling, the full blocks on top of Bitcoin, .com, I'm sorry, on top of BTC Bitcoin, that absolutely delayed the entire worldwide adoption. It was the first time ever in the history of cryptocurrencies. We had reverse adoption. We had companies like Microsoft and Expedia and Dell Computer that used to accept Bitcoin and then stopped because of the full blocks. And then everybody's saying, oh, Lightning Network, Lightning Network, Lightning Network. Well, here we are years and years later, and there's about 300 shops worldwide that accept Lightning Network. So like it was far, far, far too little, too late. But
yeah, it's too late.
All we can do is move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I don't understand about Lightning is basically if Lightning would work, I mean, who would pay the miners? I mean, there's really no incentive anymore for the miners if Lightning really grows huge. And if you look at how Bitcoin is supposed to work, it's to grow in adoption, to grow in fees. And when you got involved, I mean, there were no fees, and that's the way
literally
to
none.
spread it.
Like a lot of people don't know that, but like from the start of Bitcoin until maybe 2014, there were no fees whatsoever. Most transactions paid absolutely zero in fee. It's not that they paid really low fees. They paid no fee. It was absolutely free down to the last Satoshi, and you only had to pay a fee if you had moved your coins recently. But if the coins had sat for a long enough period of time, you didn't have to pay any fee whatsoever. So it was basically just turning the entire initial economic model for Bitcoin that made it popular to begin with. They just completely turned that upside down with Bitcoin BTC today. And it still has the Bitcoin name, but people love to accuse me of like, oh, Roger's, scamming people when he says that Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. Well, look at the economic characteristics that made Bitcoin popular to begin with and defined, right there in the title of the white paper. If you're buying BTC today, you're not buying the Bitcoin that's described in the white paper, and you're not buying the version of Bitcoin that made it popular to begin with. You're buying something else. And maybe the truth hurts, or maybe people that are holding a bunch of BTC are mad because he thinks, oh, that's going to make it harder for the price of BTC up to go in the future, and they're not going to make as much money. Well, you will make a whole bunch of money as a side effect of bringing more economic freedom to the world. You're not going to make a whole bunch of money by bashing other people's projects and telling everybody else's coins a shit coin and a bunch of nonsense like that. Like, let's build useful tools rather than engage in a bunch of name calling.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some useful tools on Bitcoin Cash, which I'm really looking forward to. But if you look at the whole halving thing, I mean, I see lots of Twitter comments. Look at the hash rate. The Bitcoin Cash went down, and it's going to die soon. And people expect the halving to have an effect on price. And basically, Litecoin halved, nothing happened. I mean, price went down. Bitcoin Cash halving, nothing really happened. Bitcoin SV, who had the halving, nothing really happened besides a block reward going down. So with BTC, I don't expect any fireworks or whatever happening. How do you see the halving with BTC? Everyone is anticipating the moon phase coming.
Yeah, so this was my third halving cycle with the different flavors of Bitcoin now. Nothing happened the last two times around. Nothing happened with BCH this time around. BTC is going to have its next halving here in about a month. The only potential difference that I can see this time is that the blocks are mostly full most of the time on BTC. And in the previous two halvings, the blocks were never, ever full. And so maybe that will create some additional congestion on the BTC network. But one of the big saving things for BTC, when the blocks are full and the fees go up, even if the blocks are farther apart, the extra fees on the network attracts more miners because they want to earn the extra fees there. So like that kind of the problem that what is a problem for BTC also attracts people to come and solve that problem. So that's a little bit of a saving grace for it. But it also is something that drives people away from wanting to use BTC. Like, I paid $1,000 in fees for a single transaction on the Bitcoin network more times than I can count at the end of 2017. Like, I have zero desire to ever experience that ever again. Like, why would I want to use a payment network that's unreliable and sometimes costs $1,000 to make a payment? Other times it's 20 cents to make a payment. Like, no, thank you. I'm moving on from that. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I don't understand with BTC. Sure, I want it to go up, but if I listen to all those BTC maximalists, like, what's the reason in it for going up? So that your wallet shows more euros or US dollar balance? You're not going to use it anyway. So what's the point? What you're going to do once it moves? You want to go back to your fiat currency? I don't understand, because I thought we came into this to exit fiat, to build a new economy and use this new system, which belongs to the people and not to the government. I mean, that's what I see.
I'm with you, and that's why I got involved almost 10 years ago. Is like the point of cryptocurrency isn't so you can sell it for more fiat later. The point is to replace fiat. So now we have competition in the worldwide use of money, and people can choose what form of money they want to use. And if they want to use their euro, fine, go ahead and use it. If you want to use a cryptocurrency, great, go ahead and use it. And let's give people more choices around the world. But in order to do that, we have to make the cryptocurrencies more useful than the fiat currencies. If they're not more useful than the fiat currencies, nobody's going to use the cryptocurrencies. So speaking of that, maybe now is a good time to show people just how useful and cool Bitcoin Cash is by giving some away. Is now a good time for that, you think?
I mean, we got over 70 people watching live. So guys, okay. I think Roger is going to give away some Bitcoin Cash. So you better pull up your phones.
Yep. So let me explain what we're going to do here, I guess, for that. So you can do this with the Bitcoin.com wallet or any other cryptocurrency wallet that's able to sweep a private key for a Bitcoin Cash address. And so I'm going to share my screen here, and hopefully everything will go smoothly here. And let me know if it doesn't. Hopefully you can see my screen there, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go over to gifts.bitcoin.com here. And so this is a really cool tool that you can use to make Bitcoin Cash gifts that you can give to people. So normally you would never show your private seed on a live stream because people can take all the money, but because we're giving it away anyhow, it's okay. So we'll paste it in there. And then here's where it gets interesting. So number of gifts, the most you can make at one shot is 20. But the first people here are going to be, the first 20 people are going to be really lucky. I just asked that the one claim per person, right? So we'll do $5, or actually we'll do it to euros, because most of your viewers, I'm guessing, are in the Eurozone, and maybe Germans, right? So we're going to do 20 gifts of €5 each. That's 100 euros. I can put in my refund address if I want the money to come back to me. If nobody claims after a certain point, I can have an email address set up so it'll notify me.
Which is very cool. I mean, if someone doesn't claim it, you get the money back. So you can't lose it, right?
Exactly. I can't lose it. So you can print these up on pieces of paper and cut them with scissors and give them to people at restaurants or taxi drivers or anybody around town. Or I don't know if trick-or-treating is a thing in Europe, but like when trick-or-treaters come to my house next year, you better believe they're going to get some candy and they're going to get some Bitcoin Cash using this tool as well. And then the really cool part, though, for any trick-or-treaters that don't manage to claim the Bitcoin Cash within a month or 3 months or whatever time period I said, the Bitcoin Cash comes back to me, so I don't have anything to worry about. So for this example, we'll do 24 hours, we'll say, for example. So it's so simple. I'll hit go, and then it's generating an invoice here. So there's going to be 20 gifts of €5 per gift, and it expires in a day from now. So here's a QR code where I'm going to fund this. On my phone here, I'm opening my Bitcoin.com wallet. And I have some nice shuffled Bitcoin Cash, so it's anonymized already, that I just transferred into my wallet. So you can see I'm going to send from my wallet to this page right here. So now it's been sent. Again, the fee to do that was less than a penny. And we can see here are all these gifts. So anybody that's watching on the live stream here, if you have your Bitcoin.com wallet or any other wallet that can sweep a private key, just scan any of these and sweep the money right there to your own wallet. And you'll see in real time, these things will wind up being marked as claimed, if somebody claims one. And so if you want to do one right there as well, feel free to grab one. And I'll even do one here so people can see as well. There, see, somebody claimed one already. That wasn't me. Another one got claimed.
Good.
There's another one. So yeah, there they go. So I don't know if it's the same person claiming each one. Hopefully it's a different person. All we can do is ask to the people that are watching on the live stream, like, please just make one claim per person. But there they are. So there's the first 8 have been claimed. Here's another 8. So we can let people claim those. And so again, if doing this on Bitcoin Cash, the fee is basically free. It's like a fraction of a penny. If we did this on the BTC network currently, the fee would, I haven't checked it today, but maybe it's 50 cents or $1 or something like that, which means, like, let's say it's $1, which it oftentimes is, or a whole euro, which it oftentimes is. As somebody claims one of these, instead of it being instead of them receiving all €5, they would only receive €4. But then when they go to send their €4, they'll only be able to send €3 of that, because it'll require another euro in fees to send it. So, and I think the YouTube live stream has maybe a 10 or 20-second delay there, but you can see someone claimed almost all of these here as well. There you go. And then we have 4 more down here that will let people claim those as well. So this is a really, really cool thing that's possible on Bitcoin Cash. It used to be possible on BTC, but it no longer is possible anymore. So, and in fact, once someone claims these 4, we'll do one more little session here, but we'll do it for an amount that we know for sure is impossible on top of BTC. So there's 3 left for you guys to claim there, guys.
Yeah, you know what I like? I mean, the other day I did a little poker tournament on blockchain.poker, and the buy-in was like 20 cents or something. I mean, even that you can't do on BTC, right?
Live stream. There we go. So we can see the current fee on Bitcoin Core is 30 cents, right? To get in the next block, the median fee is 12 cents. So let's make another batch of these. So you can see all of these have been claimed here. And we're going to make a whole new fresh one here.
Well, let's give them away at the end of the stream, right?
Okay, we'll make another one that we'll give away at the end of the stream. So
yeah,
we'll get it ready there, so it's ready for them. So
okay. So you can claim some more later. So people complain about the security of those BTC forks. Like say Bitcoin Cash isn't as secure, Bitcoin SV isn't as secure. But how does the hash rate on BCH today compare to BTC's before the bull run?
So the hash rate today is probably significantly more than BTC was on the bull run. And it's always that there's 3 different flavors of SHA-256 Bitcoin now, right? So there's BTC, BCH, and BSV. They're all going to have the hash rate in proportion to the price that they have. And so if you look, there's 3 coins there, but if you look at GPU mineable coins, there's probably 1,000 coins that are mineable with GPU. And so that GPU hash rate can bounce back and forth between all of them. How often do one of the GPU mineable coins get, 51% attacked or reorged? Not very often, almost never. Like it has happened occasionally, but it doesn't happen often at all. So I'm not worried about that at all with Bitcoin Cash or BSV or BTC at all for that matter. So the hash rate's growing year after year. It's just a bunch more, scary news sells on the internet. So people love to talk about, scary bad news because people think, oh my God, look at how much, clicks all this Corona stuff is getting. So like, yeah, the coronavirus is a problem, but the more they can make it seem like an absolutely terrifying problem, like we're all going to die, it's the end of the world, people are really going to, watch the news or click on the websites to pay extra attention there. Whereas if you say, oh, the coronavirus is a problem, but stay at home for a while, don't cough on other people, don't let other people cough on you, you're probably going to be okay. People aren't going to get all whipped up into a frenzy on that and start clicking on all that stuff. So.
Yeah, the question really is, if you want to get into all this topic, we can maybe to talk about that a little later. But I don't think it's, I think there's an agenda behind the whole thing happening. And
the agenda clearly seems for governments to get more control over everybody's life and control every aspect of society. And they were, right there ready to take over when this came out. So I'm guessing that's what you were alluding to.
Yes, definitely. And the other thing is, we saw articles here in Germany saying cash is dirty, it can spread the virus, and
so don't use paper cash anymore.
Don't use paper cash anymore. And we got shops already saying we don't accept cash anymore, we help their cause and blah blah. And it's so weird.
We should be setting them up with Bitcoin Cash wallets in the Bitcoin Cash Register app, so that way you don't ever have to touch that dirty paper money. But interesting point. Maybe governments were waiting for this to happen so that they could get rid of cash, because governments don't like cash.
Sure. If you look at the whole economic situation, sooner or later, the whole system, the current financial system is going to go bust in some way or form. We see it already happening with the debt everywhere. But you never know when, and we have to be ready. And to be honest, I don't think that crypto is ready yet. Although Bitcoin Cash is great, or Dash, or BSV, or XRP, if millions of people tomorrow would jump into crypto because fiat is failing, I don't think
it's not ready yet. The infrastructure doesn't exist yet. Yeah, as much as we would like it to be ready, it's not ready yet. Unfortunately, I agree. So we need to hurry up and make it ready as fast as we can.
So how can we spread adoption? One of the biggest obstacles I see today in spreading Bitcoin Cash for mainstream adoption is, in Germany at least, it's taxes. How do we do it with taxes? How do we report it? GST, and that seems to be one of the biggest hurdles to get normal people to accept it.
Yeah, I don't have an easy solution for you on that. My own solution was to move to a country that doesn't have any personal taxes to report. So that makes it a lot easier. But obviously, that's not a solution for everybody. And
so, what do you see?
I guess there's two options. You can beg politicians and lobby politicians to change the law to allow you to use crypto, or you can just do like a what was the Rosa Parks, right? Like in America, for those in Europe that don't know this story, it used to be the law that black people had to sit at the back of the bus. And that was the law, and everybody was obeying the law, and all the black people sat at the bus until one lady, Rosa Parks, had enough courage to say, that's a stupid law. I'm going to disobey this law. I'm going to sit at the front of the bus. And so maybe there's a time and a place for that to take place with cryptocurrency. If governments say, oh, you're not allowed to use cryptocurrency for something or other, maybe there's a time and a place for people to say, that's a stupid law. We shouldn't listen to the government about that. We should use cryptocurrency because cryptocurrency is a good thing.
That's right. A law doesn't make the law right, or like it. Yeah. For example, there are discussions now about mandatory vaccinations, about maybe have an ID so that your ID can be scanned, that people know that you've been vaccinated. It looks like 1930s in Germany, where some people had to wear like a little yellow star on their clothing. Today it's going to be a digital ID that you've been vaccinated. Very, very similar, if you ask me, how people are being pushed into this new reality, and there's no resistance really. People just accept it, and maybe that's right, that we just should use it despite what other people say, because it works, and crypto is here to challenge, I guess, the status quo,
to
right?
challenge the status quo. And I forget who said it. Maybe it was Larkin Rose or somebody else, but he basically said that get a bunch of people getting together and writing down words on a piece of paper and calling it a law doesn't alter morality. And so I think morality exists outside of the law. And just because a bunch of politicians get together and write down some words on a piece of paper, that doesn't change morality one bit. And so regardless of what those words on a piece of paper called a law say, I think it's perfectly moral for people to use cryptocurrency to buy and sell things.
That's right. So how do you see played out? I mean, let's paint some scenarios. Do you see crypto basically getting mainstream adopted by everyone, the banks, the government, and everyone's going to use it? Or do you rather see a world where maybe crypto is going to be a niche? It's going to be used by people who want to use it because of privacy, because everyone else is using a digital state currency.
Well, I think we already have that today, right? So we have people that are using cryptocurrency in their niche world today. The question is it going to spread from that small group of people that are using cryptocurrency today to everybody using it for everything? And does it have to spread? And the answer, I think, to that is no, it doesn't have to spread. But I think the other half of that answer is if it spreads, that's a really great thing for the whole world. It makes the world a better place. So we should work to trying to spread it. And that's what I'm busy doing every day. I want to spread this to make the world a better place, and I want the world to be a better place sooner rather than later. I'm tired of waiting, right? I'm 41 years old. My normal expected lifespan's half over already. And the first half went so fast. The last almost 10 years I've been involved in crypto was the fastest 10 years of my life. It just was over in an instant. And so I really want to hurry up and make the world, an amazing, amazing place as fast as I possibly can. And it takes all of us to do that. So help me out, please.
Yes, I want to help out. I mean, that's why we're talking, and that's why I introduce people to crypto as often as I can. And I mean, if you look at is it fair to say that basically Bitcoin Cash, BCH, is more like anarchist, more libertarian, the sort of the fork, and the BSV guys are more the guys who like the state, who want to be compliant, who want to basically, I know how to say it, do it a little different.
Yeah, so, and it was really strange though. So like, I know some of the people that went with the BSV side of that split, and before the split, they were saying all these great libertarian things like, yeah, people should be in control of their own money and people should, live their life and be able to do anything that's peaceful. And then the BSV split happens, and now I see them on Twitter saying you need to obey the law and do everything the government tells you have to do, and obey the police and obey everybody, and obey it because those people are wearing costumes and they have flags in front of the buildings. Like, I look at it, I think, like, what the heck happened to this person? How can this be the same person that I knew before the fork? They're saying the exact opposite thing. And I don't know what happened and what went on there, but that's been my experience as well. I see BSV people out there saying, obey your master, whereas the Bitcoin Cash people are saying, like, be your own master and be your own boss and be your own, set your own destiny with your own cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Do you think that if you would go away, just say decide to I'm going to step down with Bitcoin.com, do you think the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem would thrive, would still go forward the way it is, or do you still have lots of work to do? I mean, to get it to a stage where you say, I don't see you ever stopping what you're doing, because you do it with passion. That's what you love. You can clearly tell by the way you behave, but the things you do, the way you talk. But do you think Bitcoin Cash would survive without you?
I'm sure it would survive without me. I think it would be just fine without me. Maybe there'd be a little bit slower pace, or maybe it wouldn't have as much action happening, but it would be just fine without me. I didn't create Bitcoin. I didn't create Bitcoin Cash. I didn't, it would be just fine without me. Just like BTC is fine without me cheerleading for it today. Bitcoin Cash would be just fine without me cheerleading for that one today. Just like Ethereum's fine without me cheerleading for that, and Ripple's fine without me cheerleading for that, and everything's fine without me cheerleading for it. So I'm only one guy, right?
You're only one guy. That's right. I mean, that's the whole point of it, that we have a decentralized currency. I talked to some people who said that GPU mining is far more decentralized, and that it's basically, if you really want to have decentralized cryptocurrency, that with ASICs and all those big corporations, that Bitcoin or BTC or whatever Bitcoin you want to name it, they can't really achieve it, because it's always going to be in the hand of a few big mining pools or miners.
So I don't really buy into that argument at all. So number one, Who do you think makes the GPUs? It's big giant companies making the GPUs, right? It's not people making GPUs in their basement at home, right? It's the NVIDIAs of the world and the AMDs of the world, big giant corporations, much bigger than Bitmain or any of these other, Bitcoin ASIC manufacturers. The companies that make the GPUs are much bigger corporations. And then if you look at it though, there's 3 coins that can be mined with a SHA-256 ASIC, right? So if you have a bunch of SHA-256 ASICs, you are guaranteed to be a fan of at least one of those coins and be a really, really, really big loyal supporter of one of those coins because you have all that capital tied up in the mining equipment for one of those 3 coins. If you have a bunch of GPUs, you can switch from any one of those 1,000 different coins that's GPU mineable. So like by trying to make a coin ASIC resistant, especially when you change the proof of work mechanism after an ASIC's come out, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're basically pulling the rug right out from under the people that have the most incentive to support your chain and support your coin and tell everybody, hey, start using it. And so like, I've been a big, fan of Monero since Monero was less than $1 each, right? And I saw Bitcoin scaling problems and Bitcoin's privacy problems, so I bought some Monero. And it really was disappointing to me a year or 2 back when like some ASICs came out from Monero. And I thought, oh, this is great, right? Now you're going to have big giant mining farmers mining Monero, and these companies that are doing that are going to be some of the biggest Monero supporters in the world because all their income is in Monero. They have a bunch of capital tied up that can only be used to mine Monero. They're going to be like the biggest Monero cheerleaders in the world. And instead what happened is the devs in Monero, they switched the proof of work mechanism and basically made all those ASICs that were mining Monero worthless. And so basically they like had a whole bunch of really big giant Monero supporters that wanted to help Monero, and they shunned them from the community and basically kicked their most passionate supporters out of the community. And that's a really, really big problem. And like, that's why I like Monero, but you almost never see me talking about it because like, I feel like they don't understand. You want to get as many people using a cryptocurrency as you possibly can. And if people are willing to go out there and spend the huge amount of money it requires to build an ASIC to support Monero, you should be embracing them into the community and say, yes, please join us. We need your help to spread this. And instead they did the exact opposite. And I would hate to see that happen with other coins, but I see that to be the general mentality within cryptocurrencies. They seem to hate the people that have the most incentive to support a particular coin. It's like, even when in the Bitcoin scaling war, I had huge philosophical motivations, but I had a huge financial motivation, right? I had a whole bunch of BTC. Of course, I wanted BTC to scale to become money for the world. So I had absolutely every financial incentive to do what I thought was best for Bitcoin. And yet a bunch of people that didn't hardly even own any Bitcoin at all successfully succeeded in like strangling Bitcoin. And that's, that's really disappointing to see as well. If you looked at the websites that allowed people to vote with their Bitcoin, it was like 90+% of the people that actually had Bitcoin that bothered to vote were in favor of big blocks. The majority of the hash rate was in favor of big blocks. Like basically the vast majority of the businesses that were serving customers were in favor of big blocks. Like the vast majority of the ecosystem that had any skin in the game was in favor of bigger blocks and Bitcoin being allowed to scale to be money for the world.
Yet it still didn't go through.
Yet it still didn't go through, which shows just how important incumbency is or how strong a position incumbency is. And it also shows just how effective the censorship was within Bitcoin. So like somebody managed to get a hold of the major discussion platforms for Bitcoin, and there's censorship still going on to this very day. And that's why governments around the world love to control the media and say what the media is allowed to say and control them, because it has an effect, right? If someone's on the evening news every day saying, hey, maybe we don't need a president, maybe we don't need a prime minister, maybe we don't need taxes, maybe people can figure out how to run their lives just fine by themselves, that's terrifying for the people that run the government, because pretty soon people are going to figure out, hey, maybe I don't need that guy in government. Like, how the government doesn't have any money of its own, so how is it going to have money to do things other than taking it from me first? So if it takes money from me first, all those politicians take a cut of it from their pocket and they give part of it back to me, how am I ever going to get back more, or how is society ever going to get back more than what it put into it? The answer is they're not. But nobody's allowed to really say that in the mainstream media because it's all controlled and licensed and manipulated by the government. And the CIA literally in the US had an entire plan to get journalists put into media positions so they could set the narrative and shape the public opinion through the media. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a true thing, right? Like just because you call something a conspiracy theory doesn't mean it's not true. This really happened. Anybody can Google it. Google Project Mockingbird. This is a real thing. And don't think that it's not going on to this very day. And don't think that it hasn't happened within the cryptocurrency ecosystem. I would bet a ton of money that it has, and it still is.
I mean, I saw this YouTube video. It's called Out of the Shadows or something like that, where they talk about CIA giving basically being involved in Hollywood and telling them how the movies are being shot. And basically James Bond movies were with the CIA. There was some CIA involvement with James Bond back in the day to make CIA agents look cool and get this whole government spies being cool thing. And there are lots
rather
of
than realize that they're a bunch of hired hitmen with stolen money murdering people around the world, because that's the truth of the matter. But Hollywood can't do that because, like you said, the CIA gets there and manipulates it. But the Chinese government does it too, right? They won't let people in China see movies that don't support the Chinese government, and the movies that are produced inside of China, or the TV shows that are produced inside of there, they have to, support the Chinese government. It's the same way all around the world. And don't be surprised the Germans and the Brits and the French and everybody else aren't doing it too. Like it's the same thing, just different people. And they may speak different languages and look different colors on the outside, but they're all pretty darn similar around the world on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the whole world being shut down at the moment, I mean, whoever pulled the strings on the whole world being shut down, I mean, the economic consequences are going to be catastrophic. And I hope that crypto come out as a necessity out of this once the inflation starts hitting, once people realize that this is just paper, this is nothing real. And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see through it, and I hope that it's not going to be too bad for the people. Because I mean, if you look at the jobless claims in the US, or people working shorter hours, and I mean, the world is coming to a halt, and I think the consequences are going to be so big we can't really see what's happening at the moment. But
more people are going to die from this, the Great Recession that's on the way here than are probably going to die from the coronavirus.
Yeah,
it's very clear to see someone in a hospital dying of coronavirus, and then all the other people that die for other reasons related to the economic, crash. That's harder to see, but those lives are just as real nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you let's say cash goes away in the next couple of years, we have this state currencies basically fully tracked. Every purchase you do is tracked by the government somewhere. Then we have to talk about the aspect of privacy. And there's something, what I tell people, what I personally see, that's my personal opinion, that we need a cryptocurrency which allows you private transactions, because it's your right and you don't want anyone else to know what you do with your money. I mean, with cash, it's the same thing. And people say, yeah, we have Monero and all that stuff. But first, where do I get Monero? Easy. It's not that easy. And second, where can I spend Monero? I mean, I don't know where you can spend it. And that's when I make the point for Bitcoin Cash, because I saw that you had a fundraiser for the privacy within your wallet, Bitcoin.com wallet, which will make Bitcoin Cash one of the most private cryptocurrencies, which is widely adopted all around the world, which you can
more than 100,000 websites, yeah.
And that's something I personally see as a huge boost for Bitcoin Cash, because once people realize that you can transact privately with a cryptocurrency accepted in thousands of places. I mean, you went to Slovenia, there's huge cryptocurrency adoption with Bitcoin Cash. Or where was the conference was it in Townsville, Australia? You couldn't get in, right?
Yeah, there's a Townsville, Australia conference as well. Yeah. So
yeah,
and I just sent you a link for. Yeah, if people want privacy, you can get it right now today at cashshuffle.com, and you can shuffle up your Bitcoin Cash right now today. Like, this isn't something you have to wait for. This is something you can do today on your desktop, and we're busy building that into the Bitcoin.com mobile wallet. So soon you'll be able to do it from your phone here as well. So.
And there's one argument saying you shouldn't use those shuffle tools because you are just mixing your good coins with the dirty criminal coins, and they're going to track you. And
isn't that the same as anytime you spend cash at a store? The change they give you back might be like dirty cash. Yeah. Like, I think that argument's nonsense. So.
That's right. And you saw there was some problems with was the Abi wallet or some wallet where someone wanted to cash out coins from an exchange to his own wallet, and they couldn't, because the exchange said you can't send money to this address.
Yeah, I think I saw Paxful was doing that. They said, we noticed when you withdrew in the past, you then sent the money to a mixer after you got it. You can't do this, or something to that effect. And that's why the local.bitcoin.com platform we've built is so useful. Europe's the second biggest market for it, actually, the Eurozone. You can buy or sell any amount of Bitcoin Cash over there with euros, using with no KYC, right? You don't have to give us your name, you don't have to give us your ID, you don't have to give us anything, because Bitcoin.com never touches the money. And in fact, we just launched, not only can you buy or sell Bitcoin Cash now, but now you can buy or sell just about anything over there, and using this special non-custodial on-chain escrow thing that we built there. So you can buy and sell cars, you can buy and sell houses, you can buy and sell electronics, you can buy and sell anything over there. If you check out local.bitcoin.com, it's a really fantastic tool to start being able to actually use cryptocurrency in commerce. And so if you haven't checked that out already, please do. People will love that. So
Yes.
China's been the biggest market so far. The Eurozone's been number 2.
Okay. I mean, all you do at bitcoin.com with all the things like local.bitcoin.com, I mean, we had local.bitcoin.com, which now wants KYC, and all the stuff Bitcoin was supposed to do, I see now being realized on Bitcoin Cash. And people who are late to the party, they just buy the narrative, it's digital gold. But if you look at gold, gold is rallying now and Bitcoin is not. And most likely we haven't seen the bottom yet. I don't know how the next week's going to play out, but the numbers don't look good. And I don't think this crisis is over. I'm pretty sure that all the big companies, they're going to take a much bigger hit, and maybe cryptos are going to go down further. Yeah. So digital gold, I'm not sure. It's 10 years old. Can you call it digital gold? I don't know. I'd rather have something which I can use, because once government decides cash is whatever, you can't use cash, your Bitcoin are just sitting there and you can't do anything with it. And I don't want to ever be in a position like that, right?
You're preaching to the choir with me.
Yeah, true. So what's the next step for Bitcoin.com? I mean, what's the next? Oh no, before we go into that, let's talk about not only the Bitcoin Cash privacy. How do you see other privacy coins? Do you think privacy coin is a growing market, or you think regulators going to say we're going to shut them down? You can't list Monero or Dash like in Japan or Korea, I think. Do you think regulators going to? I think. Or both, right? Do you think privacy coins going to grow because of this, or do you think they're going to basically say, okay, that's it?
So I used to be of the opinion, and I still think that this is true just from a purely like monetary characteristic aspect, like the best money is the money that's the most fungible. And so from that perspective, like I thought Monero was awesome because every transaction is private all the time, all day, every day. Like Zeno is another privacy coin, totally awesome because it's totally private all the time. Zcash and Zcoin are the next step up. They can be private sometimes optionally. And then there are things like, Bitcoin didn't have any privacy. Like everybody thought it was private to begin with. And then a bunch of companies like Chainalysis and whatnot came out. And now people realize that Bitcoin isn't private at all. And so I used to think Monero, that's the best. Something like a Zcash or a Zcoin is the second best. And then like something like a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin Cash with no cash shuffle or any of that sort of stuff is the least good. But I've changed my opinion on that. And the reason why is because we've seen governments like Japan, like Korea, and lots of others ban all the privacy coins. They're not allowed to trade Monero or Zcash or Dash even on a bunch of these different countries' exchanges because the politicians have said so. And I think the politicians are wrong, and I think they're being tyrants for doing so. But if you look at it from a purely strategic standpoint, something like Bitcoin Cash is awesome because you can tell all the regulators, no. The chain is completely transparent. You can audit every transaction and see every single transaction on the blockchain. This is totally transparent. And then a layer above that, everybody can use Cash Shuffle or Cash Fusion to make their transactions private. So like the governments won't be able to ban something like Bitcoin Cash as easily as they can ban a Monero because it's not private at the protocol level, it's private a layer above. And so at this point, I think a better strategy is to have the privacy tools be a layer above the protocol level so that governments have a much harder time coming up with an excuse as to why to ban the coin as a whole. Maybe they'll just try and ban people using the privacy tools rather than ban the coin overall, which is exactly what they've done to Monero, but they haven't done to Bitcoin Cash, even though with Cash Fusion, Bitcoin Cash's privacy is right there in the same ballpark as Monero. So there's literally more potential combinations of how you shuffled up your coins than there are atoms in the entire universe, right? So like that's a really big number. So Bitcoin Cash using Cash Fusion is plenty private, and we just paid for a full security audit to be done on that as well, and we'll release that as soon as that's out as well.
So what's your time frame? A couple weeks, couple months?
I'd have to check the contract and see when they're due to start. I think it's a 2-week audit process, and then maybe another week for them to write the report or something like that. So maybe a month from now, but I'm not sure what day the audit starts. I just know we signed the contract.
So basically, once that's finished, the audit is finished, you're going to integrate default privacy into the Bitcoin.com wallet, which is the second most downloaded wallet in the world, right?
Right. Second most downloaded mobile wallet in the entire world. Blockchain.com is number one. Bitcoin.com is number two. And we're going to have the privacy mode turned on by default in the Bitcoin.com wallet. So everybody's transaction will be private all the time by default. And if for some reason someone wants to turn that off, they can go in and disable it. But not too many people are going to intentionally want to turn that off, I don't think.
How's that going to work? So basically, it's turned on. You receive coins. Before you receive them, they're just going to be mixed?
No. So the way Cash Fusion works is it takes a bunch of your inputs and a bunch of other people's inputs and combines them all together into a bunch of different outputs that are all different sizes. And so there's just so many different numbers and so many different combinations that anybody looking at the coins that went in, you have more than the potential number of atoms in the entire universe, ways or possibilities of the way they came out. So you have basically no correlation whatsoever to the coins out versus the coins in. And that'll be turned on by default. So your wallet will just, shuffle up your coins just like that, or fuse your coins.
I mean, if I think about it, I'm pretty sure that the use of Bitcoin Cash because of that feature is going to skyrocket. I mean, that's what I see. I mean,
yes. So right now, Bitcoin Cash is faster, cheaper, and more reliable than BTC. Soon it's going to be faster, cheaper, more reliable, and totally private, which BTC doesn't have. Has basically no privacy on the BTC chain right now. So like that's going to be another big giant selling point. And then these tokens on top of Bitcoin Cash. Tether should launch any day now on top of the Bitcoin Cash network. In fact, I don't know if it's the real Tether token, but I saw somebody minted up a bunch of Tether tokens on Bitcoin Cash that they're calling Tether and linking to the Tether official website. I don't know. It might be a fake token, so watch out. But somebody made them out there, and it's interesting. And but Tether has announced directly that they are launching Tether on top of Bitcoin Cash SLP. So that's a big deal as well. So
lots of stuff
all
happening.
These pieces of the ecosystem are coming together, and I think it's just going to be a little bit of time until the public wakes up and realizes, oh, Bitcoin Cash is way better than that thing that everyone's calling Bitcoin right now, even though Bitcoin has a bigger market cap. And it's like, Wayne Gretzky said it in regards to hockey. He says, you don't skate to where the puck is now, you skate to where the puck is going to be. Well, the same is true when it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies, right? If you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, you invest your money now where the capital is going to be in the future. And that very clearly is the chains that have the most usefulness. And the chain that's pretty clear to seem like it's going to have the most usefulness in the future is Bitcoin Cash, with this giant network effect of over 100,000 websites accepting it, a super passionate user base around the world, super strong privacy coming to the Bitcoin.com wallet, the strong brand of Bitcoin.com. Man, it has it all going on. So it's just a matter of time until the world wakes up. So if you want to invest your capital today where the capital is going to be flowing to tomorrow, it seems really clear that Bitcoin Cash is a good place to do that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, do you see BSV as a competitor? Do you see because I mean they I don't know how big their blocks is. They're quite big. With Bitcoin Cash, it's 32 megabytes. I mean, it's bigger, but you don't need bigger at the moment. But you have to advance there as well, in my opinion. I mean, rather quickly, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the block size earlier today, and like the average blocks on the Bitcoin Cash network were somewhere in the ballpark of 1/10 of a megabyte, right? So we're not even to 1 megabyte yet. And I don't pay much attention to BSV at all. The main reason I don't pay much attention to them at all is because the main thing I see from them, like my main interactions, I'll see some BSV accounts on Twitter saying different things. And basically all I hear them saying is, obey the government. Obey the government. And like for me, like if your entire thing is like, hey, let's build a decentralized censorship resistant platform so we can all obey the government, you've missed the entire point of cryptocurrency. The entire point of cryptocurrency is to put people in charge of their own cryptocurrency and make it by intentional technological design, make cryptocurrencies impervious to the laws that the politicians try to pass in regards to them. So like, if your whole mantra is obey the government, what do you need a cryptocurrency for? I think the BSV guys should just go back to using, dollars and euros and yen. Well, if you want to obey the government with everything, just go use your PayPal and credit card again.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, why use cryptocurrency? You should spend your bad money and keep your Bitcoins, right? You never touch it. That's the BTC maximalist stance, right? So let's before we go to some community questions, I want to ask you about the Western civilization. I mean, our systems work, our currency is rather stable. I mean, we're in lots of trouble at the moment, but it's rather stable. People don't see a need really to adopt it. Do you think that's going to change? Is the adoption coming from Asia, from Africa, India, South America?
The adoption comes from making the cryptocurrency tools more useful than the other traditional finance tools. So if some people get banned by PayPal, right? Every single person that gets banned by PayPal instantly becomes a cryptocurrency fan. Some people get banned from being able to accept Visa or MasterCard at their business. Every single person that gets banned from being able to accept Visa or MasterCard instantly becomes interested in cryptocurrency. So the more difficult the traditional financial systems become to use, the more attractive cryptocurrencies become. But it's our job as cryptocurrency fans to build all these technological tools to make it even easier and more useful for people to use these cryptocurrencies, so that, like, if my aunt gets her PayPal account shut down for whatever silly reason, she'll be able to use cryptocurrency safely and not have her money stolen and not have bad things happen to her cryptocurrency. But like, we have to make it easy for them. So like, here's a Ledger wallet or Ledger wallet. My aunt's not going to use this. Like my uncle's not going to use this. My grandma and grandpa aren't going to use this. Like even for me, it's a pain to use this thing. And I rarely use this thing anyhow. I was goofing around with it earlier today. And then speaking of that, the ledger manager, like the balance that reports in there is wrong. It can't even add properly. So we're not there yet, right? And like the ledger is supposed to be one of the best hardware wallets out there in the entire world. And like their app doesn't even count right. Like we have a long ways to go still is the short answer. So, but if we want people to start using it, we have to build those tools. We need the ledger app to count properly. We need the Bitcoin.com wallet to work smoothly. We need to, so people's coins are safe from being stolen or hacked. There's a lot of work still to be done. But right now, like the whole world with this economic meltdown, it's like one great big giant marketing campaign for cryptocurrencies.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you see it the same way. I mean, I still expect lower prices, but once this whole crisis is over, more or less, I hope it's not taking too long, that crypto is going to emerge as the new technology, because people, they sooner or later, they will see what government really is, what they do. They take away them because of this virus, whatever, and people just accept it being locked down, and they don't even go on the street, right? So it's pretty crazy what's happening. Let's, what was the question? Oh yeah, we wanted to give away some more Bitcoin Cash, and then we can come to some community questions, right? In the chat, we got like 80 people.
Yep.
So guys,
so let me get this ready, and we'll do the same thing.
You get this ready, and
20 gifts of €5 each.
Leute, schreibt mal in den Chat eure Fragen rein.
I'll share
some
my
nice questions in the chat. Yeah, no problem, no problem.
And for anybody that wants to go and do like the blockchain analytics or spying on this too, you'll see that the coins that are coming from all these gifts came from a cash shuffle transaction. So it'll be really hard for anybody to track down where they came from. So here we go. If people are ready for some more free Bitcoin Cash.
Ready? There they come. Okay, get your phones out. There they are.
Yeah.
And they will be claimed.
And again, we just ask, only one claim per person, please. We want to spread this to the whole world. We don't want one person to claim them all there. So
that's awesome. Roger, thank you very much for that, so people can see the power of Bitcoin
My
Cash.
pleasure.
I mean, it's super fast. I mean, the other day I played blockchain poker. I sent money, or it's just in an instant, and you can use it. You can start playing and no waiting, and it's pretty awesome. I think there's still some work to be done for the zero confirmation or instant transactions to be more secure. I guess that's coming sooner or later, but it's working now. And people always say it's insecure, but you can't double spend it easily as on BTC, where you have the replace by fee. So I can always tell people, try it for yourself before you just repeat stuff you've read on the internet from other people. And just try it for yourself and see what you like.
Think for yourself. Yeah, try and think for yourself. So.
Yeah. So what do you think is, I mean, for adoption, I guess people need to earn cryptocurrency, because if you have to buy it, it feels like an investment. You don't want to spend it because it appreciates in value. You live off cryptocurrency because you earn cryptocurrency. And so you want adoption, and that's what I want too, right? So what are the best ways for people to earn Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash? What are the best ways? What do you suggest?
Yeah, there's another great company called, I think, Bitwage, where you can, with your existing employer that pays you with fiat, you can set it up. They give you a special bank account, and you tell the employer, okay, I want my direct deposit, part of it to go to this address, and then this account, and they'll convert it right into Bitcoin Cash for you. So anybody with working with any normal job right now, you can automatically have part of your salary converted into Bitcoin Cash for you right there using Bitwage as that company. So you can go and sign up for that. Right now, it's not really any extra work for your existing employer. So that's a fantastic way. If you own a business, start offering to pay your employees in cryptocurrency, right? So that's a really great deal. So you can see we just gave away another $100 worth of Bitcoin Cash there. They claimed them all just like that. And it takes a little while for someone to claim it because I think YouTube has like a 15 or 20-second delay with the live stream. But we saw, we put it up there and waited, and then boom, 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 people claimed them.
So you can accept Bitcoin Cash in your business. You maybe talk to owners, get them to accept Bitcoin Cash. There are sites like Fiverr.com for Bitcoin Cash or something like that.
Yep, and local.bitcoin.com, we're going to build out like gig stuff too, where like, the person that wants you to do whatever work, they prove that they have the Bitcoin Cash to pay you. It's already been locked into the smart contract escrow. So we'll see all sorts of things like that coming and getting more and more traction around the world. So.
Roger, you're clearly a scam because you want people to use this currency. I mean, why do you want people to use it? Just let them sit it in the wallet and not use it. I mean, that's the whole point.
Yeah, I think you've missed the whole point if you think the point of cryptocurrency is just let it sit and never use it ever. The entire point is for currency to be usable as a currency.
Yeah. So let's go in the last couple of minutes we have here to some questions from the community.
Sure.
So guys, post some questions. I see some questions here. Is BCH decentralized with milestones every 10 blocks? What's the reason? Checkpoints, I guess they mean, right?
Yeah, so I think that's just fine. So like if you have more than a 10-block reorg, that's a disaster for the chain. So like maybe a 1 or 2 block reorg can happen occasionally if blocks don't propagate properly to begin with, but there's no problem whatsoever with a 10-block rolling checkpoint. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So.
Then there's a question. Do you think companies bring their shares to the BCH blockchain to distribute dividends? I mean, that's a great use case, right?
Yeah, the one I would love to see do it first would be a darknet market. I think that's they're already selling illegal stuff. Why not have an illegal IPO where they sell their token and then they share some of the proceeds from their thing on using the dividends tool? If you haven't seen this already, for anyone that's watching, go on head on over to mint.bitcoin.com. You can make a token, you can send those tokens out to people, and then you can pay dividends to all the token holders out there in the world. So do I think we're going to see traditional businesses using that? Yes, absolutely, but they move slower than some of these more freewheeling, free market businesses. So I would love to see a darknet market do something like that. I think that would be so incredibly interesting for that to happen.
I'm pretty sure
anybody can own a share in it.
I'm pretty sure it's coming.
I can't wait. And if someone listening is affiliated with the darknet market, like I'm not, but if you guys have an IPO on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain and use it to pay out dividends, like I'll be talking about it on my YouTube channel and tweeting about it to my 600,000 followers, and I'll be telling everybody I can about it because I think it'll be one of the most interesting things around. Just like I thought this original Silk Road was one of the most interesting things around to happen. So if you're already running an illegal darknet market website, you might as well have an illegal IPO as well while you're at it.
And more of those
we built the perfect tool for that. So.
And more of those darknet markets are integrated in Bitcoin Cash these days, right?
Yeah, it's the only cryptocurrency that came out, fairly recently to have been integrated into darknet markets. They used to all be BTC. A couple of them added Monero or Litecoin that have been around for years. And then Bitcoin Cash is the only recent currency. Like there's no darknet markets accepting Ethereum or Dash or any of these other ones. It's only Bitcoin Cash is the only recent one, which I think just shows how incredibly strong Bitcoin Cash's network effect is and getting stronger. So
another question is, how much can BCH scale long-term on-chain? Do you think there's a limit?
Yeah, no, it can scale to be usable as money for every single person on the entire planet. In fact, that was the very first thing when I heard about Bitcoin in 2011. I thought, well, can this scale? Can people actually use this? And there was if you go on the Internet Archive on the Wayback Machine there, you can pull up bitcoin.org, and they had an FAQ from like 2011 or 2012. It goes over the exact math as to how Bitcoin could scale on chain for everybody in the entire planet to be using it as money for just about every transaction. And Bitcoin Cash clearly can do that. BTC has decided not to. There's no reason BTC couldn't have done that. They just simply decided not to be money for the world and to pivot the entire project and then call people who wanted Bitcoin to actually be what it was supposed to be originally and was planned to be originally. They call those people the scammers. So, but that's a whole other topic. But if you go on YouTube and search can Bitcoin scale to be money for the world or something like that? I made a video where I actually go on that old FAQ page from bitcoin.org in like 2011 or 12, and I go over all the exact math, how Bitcoin can become money for the world and scale on chain. Bitcoin Cash clearly can. BTC has chosen not to. So.
And you just, I mean, the way you guys handle this, it's just like grow with the demand. I mean, BSV says, let's go as big, as fast as possible. You say, okay, let's scale it up as it gets used more and more.
Yeah, I say the market should set the price for the block space. So the miners can decide what price they want to charge for space within their blocks, and then people can decide what they're willing to pay for there. So
yeah, that's right. All right, let's see. I mean, I'm pretty confident that there's enough room to grow. And I mean, you see technology.
I want to see a darknet market do an IPO. Like that, for me, that would just be one of the most interesting things to have happened this decade. So
yeah, then honest opinion about BTC. Does it go to 20,000 again in 2020?
It might. In 2020, yeah. So like the year's a third over.
Yeah.
It might. I don't know. But like BTC, I think, has just become this tool for speculators to speculate on the future speculation of other speculators. Bitcoin Cash is building the tools to make it peer-to-peer electronic cash for the entire world. So for me, it's very clear which one of those two has a long-term higher price potential. And it's the one that could potentially be used by everybody in the entire world for every payment, not the one that's just trying to convince, hey, you should buy this too, because other people are going to buy it later. And then after they buy it later, you can sell yours for more money. Like that's the whole marketing tool for BTC at this point. And for me, that's not interesting or something I want to participate in.
That's right. Another question is someone asking me if I have been paid by you for this video. Because I'm a fan of Bitcoin Cash, guys. I haven't been paid. I just love Bitcoin Cash because it's great. It's a great currency, right? It works. And
yeah.
I
think we bumped into each other in Mexico once before.
Yes,
and then this is the first time since then. I think we've had any communication. I think so.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I'm a fan of Dash, right? Dash is super fast, super cheap, and
it's digital cash. Like that was the entire point of Bitcoin to begin with. So I'm a fan of anything that works, right? And Dash works pretty well. So it just has such a way smaller network effect than Bitcoin Cash. That's the only. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's like that's a disappointing thing about Dash. Like if Dash had a bigger network effect than Bitcoin Cash, I'd be out there, pounding the drum for Dash and digital cash. Who doesn't like digital cash? That's great.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, if you talk to people on the street, like everyday guys, have you heard of Bitcoin? Yeah, I heard about it. Have you heard of
Dash? No,
they don't.
Even have you heard of Ethereum? No, like
that's right.
The Bitcoin brand is so powerful.
So someone is asking, what happens when people die with BTC in their accounts over time? Lost BTC will be a problem. Do you think that's going to be a problem? People losing?
No, that's a good thing for everybody that's still alive, right? So that reduces the supply of BTC, and like everything, the price is set by supply and demand. So if the supply of Bitcoin has become less because somebody died and didn't tell anybody their private keys, that's good for everybody else because there's less Bitcoin around, so the price goes up. So no, that's not a problem. That's a good thing for all the people that are alive.
So okay, that's right. So that's another question. Would you still recommend investment in St. Kitts and Nevis passport in the future?
Yeah, and it depends on what country you're a citizen of. But I can see the beautiful St. Kitts beach out the window here. St. Kitts is great. You can pay for the entire thing in Bitcoin Cash. If you're interested in that, you can send me an email, roger@bitcoin.com. I've been through the process. I can help you through the process yourself. It's nice to have a backup plan, right? You should absolutely have a backup plan. Like I'm sure, nobody, living in Germany in the late 1930s thought that the German government was going to go crazy. It was one of the, the most governments held in one of the most high esteem of any government in the world at the time. And then look what happened. It went crazy. And don't think that sort of thing can't happen again in your country. And it happens, all the time throughout history. It's good to have a backup plan. It's good to have a backup plan. And having a second passport is an important part of that backup plan.
There's a worldwide, I don't know worldwide, but in Europe, it seems like more and more everyday people are just fed up with politics, fed up with the government. It seems like politics, they don't make decisions for the people, but against the people. That's, for me, how it feels, and I see it. And hopefully more people are going to see it and use tools like
I share that feeling too, right? Yeah.
So then another question, is digital private identity possible on BCH? Microsoft is doing it on BTC ID 2020. I don't know.
So I don't know too much about Microsoft's plan, but we shouldn't underestimate Microsoft's network effect, right? Microsoft is one behemoth of a company, but maybe the people at Microsoft will be smart and figure out, oh, BTC has intentionally strangled its scalability. Maybe they should start looking at other chains like Bitcoin Cash, where we welcome people using it. I know you have Civic, right, which is Vinnie Lingham's a digital identity on the blockchain there too. So like that's another example of that. There's more and more out there. And so if you think something is useful and doesn't exist yet, go out there and build it for people.
Didn't Vinny also get sued in this class action lawsuit? Wasn't he part of that?
He might have been. Craig and Calvin are busy suing everybody, so it's really a shame. They're suing me. They're suing Vitalik. They're suing everybody. So.
Yeah, Craig has a few ongoing court cases. I mean, everyone is waiting. BSV community, everyone is waiting. I mean, do you know the story? What it's going to happen?
No, tell me.
Basically, lots of people are waiting for the halving, and they hope that Craig is going to dump all the BTC, so the price goes down, every miner switches, and BTC dies. Right?
I don't think Craig has the coins, so that's my thought. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. I find it interesting, and I like BSV from a how you call it? From
some of the things they say I really like. The lawsuits and the patent trolling, I want nothing to do with. So.
Sure, that's right. I mean, they push the envelope. I mean, they really try to go big and fast and do cool things. They build cool apps, but as you say, there are some things, and the community in BSV is a little different. You know, they like to bash other people, but enough of that, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has their own coin. Everyone can do what they want, and it would be
the beauty of the market.
It would be great if 2020 brings the crypto community back together into a new spirit where we can move forward as a community and really show the power we have to the world, and show them that we don't need your stuff. We can build our own stuff with our own rules, and it's gonna be fine, right? And that's the future I'm fighting for, because I don't want to, because I don't want to live in a world where we don't have cash, where the government knows everything about you, and it doesn't look too good at the moment worldwide. And let's hope. I mean, once government has a few rights or take a few rights, they don't give it back that easily.
They never give it back.
Yeah, so we have to see how that all develops, and we have big restrictions on travel and all that stuff, which is also affecting the crypto community. Because I mean, I loved going to conferences, and Acapulco in 2018 was awesome. You know, I couldn't go to the other ones, but that was a great vibe. You know, great people, libertarian, free. You could.
It was a fantastic conference. I remember.
You could be who you are, and no one judges you, and as long as you don't hurt anyone. So it's a great principle. So, Roger, let's finish this thing up. We've been talking over 1 hour. What do you want to say? How do you want to finish this interview? What do you want to tell the people in Germany?
I guess I'll close. Like, if you want to help spread peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world, probably the best thing you can do to help do that is head on over to local.bitcoin.com. If you have some junk in your house that you don't need anymore, you know, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Go and list it for sale on local.bitcoin.com. Start using it like an eBay kind of. Or go and post an ad over there to buy or sell cryptocurrency, even if there's a big spread on there. Make the spread big enough so it's worth your time to do that. But that adds more liquidity, so it makes it easier for people around the world to buy or sell in and out of Bitcoin Cash from their other methods there. So, and then set up a friend with the Bitcoin Cash wallet. Show them how it works. If you have a friend who owns a business or a coffee shop or a restaurant, show them the Bitcoin Cash Register app. Get them set up. Show them how to use Purse.io and save 20% on Amazon.de. It's just a really fantastic tool for everybody. Like, if we want people to use cryptocurrencies, we have to start using it ourselves. So start using it in your life every chance you have, and try and get those of you that you know and care about around you to start using it as well. And so if all of us together start doing that, we'll start making some good progress.
Yeah, that's awesome. Roger, thank you very much. One thing I want to say that I guess some people in the community think isn't the best tactics always bashing other cryptos. And I see you always putting BTC in a bad light. Why keep talking about BTC? Why not focus entirely on Bitcoin Cash? Why don't just leave that behind and let them be? I mean, they have the project. Lightning is going to solve all the problems, so let them do it and focus on the own thing. I mean, I've heard that argument quite a few. I personally would suggest that's the way to go, because I'm not interested in the project I'm not interested in. But if you keep talking about it, you always push the focus onto that back again, right?
Yep, that's probably pretty good advice. I guess the problem with that for me personally is like Bitcoin got hijacked, and Bitcoin, I was really emotionally attached to that because it was the first cryptocurrency. I worked really, really hard to spread that to the world, and now all the hard work that people like myself did is being used to promote something that isn't what we were even promoting to begin with. And so all these people that are buying BTC today, thinking that it's Bitcoin, those are the people that are being scammed. Those are the people that are being tricked. So it's really frustrating for me from that standpoint. But at some point, hopefully I'll get over that and I'll just be able to talk about all the amazing ways in which Bitcoin Cash is amazing. And BTC, hopefully I won't even have to mention that one anymore.
We will see. I mean, if it works out, great. I mean, if we have a coin which works for everyone, awesome. That's basically what we all want, right? We want a workable, usable cryptocurrency which is widely adopted. And if it's not Bitcoin Cash, hopefully
that's
it's
fine
a different
too,
one.
Right? I'll promote anything that works as cash.
So guys, that's it. Roger, thank you very much for being here in
my pleasure, Dennis. Thank you too.
And I hope to talk to you again sometime soon and see how we can spread the Bitcoin Cash adoption in Germany, because I don't think it's been adopted that much. I can tell you one thing to finish. We had a few Bitcoin ATMs. They all got shut down because of the regulation in Germany. But if you wanted to cash out Bitcoin from the ATM, it took you an hour to wait for the confirmation. Bitcoin Cash was quicker. I mean, Dash was the quickest though. But there you can see, I mean, who waits an hour for the money, right?
Nobody wants to wait. And check out maps.bitcoin.com. You can see all the local places near you that are accepting Bitcoin Cash right now today. And if you need something that they're selling, go and buy it from them. Like anytime you need to buy something online, try and find a website that takes Bitcoin Cash and use that as well. So that's how we can spread it. So.
That's right. Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dennis.
Roger.